Good evening and welcome to the James River Valley Report. I'm JT Petsch.
And I'm Courtney Oliver. Jamestown College held a groundbreaking event Thursday in Fargo for a new 13,500 square foot facility that will be the home of the currently developing Doctorate of Physical Therapy program. The Physical Therapy program is expected to enroll its first class in the fall of 2013. Jamestown College President Bob Bedall said the groundbreaking event is a historic week.
About this program has been extremely positive about the idea of having a Doctor of Physical Therapy program here in Fargo.
Jamestown College Academic Dean Gary Watts said between 2008 and 2018, the field of physical therapy will grow more than 30%, and there are fewer physical therapy programs in the Midwest than any other region in the country. If the program is accredited, Jamestown College will be the only institution with an accredited program in physical therapy in the Fargo-Moorhead area, according to the website of the Commission on Accreditation in Physical Therapy Education. Two more former North Dakota State University football players have pleaded guilty to petition fraud following the 10 current Bison who previously pleaded guilty of forging signatures on ballot measure petitions. According to published documents, the two former players, Darren McNorton and Joshua Gatlin, received the same deferred imposition of sentence as the current 10 players. If they don't commit any further crimes in the next year, the charge will be removed from their public records. They all must complete 50 hours of community service and pay $325 in fines.
3 people were injured in an ice-related accident around 2:30 Saturday morning, 37 miles west of Jamestown. 50-year-old Jennifer Mall lost control of her vehicle as she crossed a railroad overpass on Interstate 94. The vehicle entered the west ditch and landed upside down on 3 drivers' side. Mall and her 2 passengers, a 14-year-old girl and an 18-year-old boy, were all transferred by ambulance to the Jamestown Regional Medical Center. The crash remains under investigation. The North Dakota Community Foundation has met the nation's highest philanthropic standards for operational quality, integrity, and accountability. The notice comes from a national accreditation organization. The National Standards for U.S. Community Foundations program requires community foundations to document their policies for donor services, investments, grant making, and administration.
A Tennessee woman is sentenced to 10 years in prison for flying to Grand Forks to have sex with a 15-year-old boy. Cynthia Kuzi of Knoxville is sentenced on convictions for sexually assaulting a minor and for luring a minor over the internet. According to authorities, Kuzi flew to Grand Forks and rented a motel room where she gave the boy beer and had sex with him over a 3-day period. A week later, she drove to Grand Forks, picked up the boy, and took him to Knoxville without even telling his mother. Kuzi is married and has a teenage son. Coming up after the break, we'll hear about weather from Jessica Gulseth.
When I have an asthma attack, I feel scared. Sometimes my parents have to take me to the hospital. I feel like a fish with no water.
You know how to react to their asthma attacks. Here's how to prevent them. Call 1-866-NO-ATTACKS. Visit www.noattacks.org or call your doctor. Because even one attack is one.
I took a trip to Elkhart, Indiana today. Elkhart's a place that has lost jobs faster than anywhere else in America. The people who've lost them have no idea what to do or who to turn to. In fact, local TV stations have started running public service announcements that tell people where to find food banks, even as the food banks don't have enough to meet the demand.
Health officials are estimating that 13,000 people have been exposed to an epidural steroid linked to a rare fungal meningitis. It has infected 105 people across 9 states, killing 8 of them. According to public sources, 14 new cases and 1 new death have been reported since yesterday. The outbreak is linked to spinal steroid injections, a common treatment for back pain. According to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, a sealed vial of the steroid did contain fungus. The states with reported cases are Tennessee, Florida, North Carolina, Indiana, Michigan, Virginia, Maryland, Minnesota, and Ohio. Well, Jessica, the weather, it snowed this Saturday. What can we expect for the rest of the week?
Well, if you remember Saturday, the snow was gone by Sunday morning, so that was good. And this week is nothing like last week. If you remember last week, we started with 70, 80 degrees the first part of the week, and then it dropped to about 50, and then it snowed. So it was a little weird. This week will seem dull in comparison. Today we experienced a little bit of rain and a high of 54. Tonight we'll see temperatures drop naturally and hit a low of about 35. Tuesday morning there will be a 20 to 30% chance of snow until about 9 a.m. Then it will clear up and we'll see a chilly 40 degrees for the rest of the day. Tuesday night, very cold, only about 26 degrees. Wednesday will warm up and be a perfect example of a fall day with a high in the upper 50s and only a cool down to a low of 34. Thursday will be a calm and uneventful day of weather with a high in the mid 40s and a low in the mid 20s. Friday and Saturday, expect highs in the upper 50s and overnight lows in the upper 30s. Sunday, again, a high in the 50s, expect for the little bit of snow Tuesday morning. This week is fairly boring. Slight variation in the temperatures, but for the most part, pretty chill week.
Well, Jessica, it doesn't sound too bad. It's pretty seasonal weather, I guess, for the October. It's not bad. But thank you, Jessica. Former Penn State defensive coordinator Jerry Sandusky will take the stand tomorrow to declare innocence in his child sex abuse trial. Sandusky faces anywhere from 10 to 400 years in prison, facing 45 verdicts finding him guilty. He did not testify during his trial this summer, and according to his defense attorney, Sandusky is anxious to speak directly to the court. Victims from the trial are also expected to testify. The statements from the victims and Sandusky will follow a 9 a.m. hearing to determine whether the former coach will be classified as a sexually violent predator. When we come back, the first Nobel Prize of 2012 is won. Matt will be here with sports and will tell you how to become a hero.
You can't save money? That's easy as pie. Brown bagging lunch instead of going out. $6 save times 5 days a week times 10 years is $21,000. That's a lot of lettuce. Small changes today, big bucks tomorrow. Feedthepig.org.
Severe weather can destroy a home in seconds. There's no time to think, only time to act. Have a kit so you're ready for any emergency. Develop a plan for what you and your family will do before disaster strikes. And stay informed during severe weather any way you can. It can be the difference between losing your possessions and losing your life. Just ask the owners of this house.
Visit weather.com/ready and let the Weather Channel help you prepare your family for emergencies.
Two different scientists have won the Nobel Prize in Medicine today. British researcher John Gurdon and Japanese scientist Shinya Yamanaka have raised hopes of developing transplant tissue to treat diseases like Parkinson's and diabetes. The Nobel Committee says their findings have revolutionized our understanding of how cells and organisms develop. The Medicine Award was the first Nobel Prize to be announced this year. The Physics Award will be announced tomorrow, followed by Chemistry on Wednesday, Literature on Thursday, and the Nobel Peace Prize on Friday. Football had the weekend off, but many other Jimmy's athletics were in action this weekend.
Yeah, Connie, it's been an entertaining and busy weekend for the Jimmies. Athletics, who notched up a series of victories on the road. The Jimmy volleyball team came back to Jamestown with a split over some very talented teams on Friday night. The Jimmies travelled to a taunting Dakota Wesleyan, who were boosted by a fired-up home crowd. The Tigers, who are currently 4-18, took the opening set from Jamestown College, but the next three went to the Jimmies as they remained unbeaten in true road matches 4-0 and improved to 17-3 overall. Senior Caitlin Regala and freshman Elena Brown combined for 30 kills in another solid performance by the Jimmy pair. The Jimmies were back in action again on Saturday at Northwestern. The Red Raiders proved to be the more clinical team towards the end of the sets, clinching the victory 3-1 in games. Every game bar one in which the Jimmies took was within 3 points at the end of the game. Caitlin Regala had a team high with 12 kills, Elena Brown added 10 and Katie Zent had 9. The Jimmies are 17-4 on the season, with their next game being away to Dickinson State, who they beat 3-0 in games earlier on in the season. Senior day for the Jimmy women's and men's soccer team was not a day to remember as both teams dropped into the hands of the Rocky Mountain Bears. The ladies had two seniors, Cara Wall and Nikki Martineau. Jamestown College scored first with a goal from freshman Lexi Stareski, but Rocky Mountain star Kirsty Montinagni scored to level the game up for Rocky Mountain. Later on in the game, they went on to score to make it 2-1 to the Bears. Coach Becker was pleased with the girls' performance as the Bears are a very strong team and the girls had a lot of chances to tie and win the game. The Jimmy men had two seniors, Ross Perleberg, a native from Jamestown, North Dakota, and Jonathan Lodge from Dublin, Ireland, who were both playing their last home game for their school. The Jimmies started out the stronger of the two sides, having a goal disallowed within the first couple of minutes of the game. The break came when Jack Cleaning was inch perfect on the cross to George Gould, who slotted home for an early 1-0 lead. It should have been the second goal within 18 minutes of play. The Bears managed to get a foothold in the game and crawled one back before half-time to make it 1-1 going into the break. The Jimmies came out poorly and allowed Rocky Mountain a clear chance and goal, in which they took and made the score 2-1. With heavy pressure by the Jimmies, it was a matter of time before the Bears had another chance. They proved to be clinical in front of goal and snatched the victory to make it 3-1. The Jimmies are currently 10-2 on the season and are back in action next against Concordia Moorhead. On other news, Dan Lavelle has been hired as an assistant coach for the Jimmy men's wrestling team. Coach Lavelle comes to Jamestown College from Marshalltown High School in Iowa, where he was a resource teacher and head wrestling coach. Coach Lavelle has had other experience as the co-head coach at Great Oak High School and the head coach at Antioch High School in California. As a wrestler, Dan Lavelle was an Iowa High School 3A state runner-up and state champion, a 2-year letter winner at Iowa State University, a 2-year starter at the University of Nebraska Omaha, and NCAA Division II All-American 3rd place, a USA Wrestling Veterans National Champion in folk style, freestyle and Greco-Roman this year. He also placed 3rd at the Veterans World Championship in Hungary in September this year. That's the sports news for this weekend. Back to you, Courtney.
Well, thanks for the update, Matt. Next weekend should be an entertaining one as well, with homecoming. The excitement begins with coronation for King and Queen tonight at 8 in the Voorhees Chapel. The court consists of Caitlin Hodem, Molly Arts, Emily Schuda, Stephanie Erlinson, Linda Harsh, Kara Wall, Shane Ringdahl, Drew Boris, Scott Remick, Andrew Hammond, Matt Nies, and Sam Brown. And before we go, we'd like to remind all of you to sign up to become a hero. United Blood Services is hosting a blood drive on the campus of Jamestown College. It starts Wednesday at 9:45 a.m. and goes until 3:45 p.m. You have another opportunity on Thursday from 12 noon until 6 p.m. to make your appointment. Visit www.bloodhero.com, sponsor code JIMMYS. And that's the James Valley River Report for this Monday, October 8th. For JT Petsch, Jessica Gulseth, and Matt Belshaw, I'm Courtney Oliver. Thanks for joining us. Good night.